Hi guys, today I'm going to be reading for Read Aloud chapter 4 of Jasmine Toguchi Mochi Queen. Chapter 4 is called Obachan's Gift, and some of you definitely know this, but some of you might not know this, but Obachan means grandma in Japanese. The next day, it was time to pick up Obachan from the airport. Sophie and I ran around the house shouting for joy. Mom ran around the house too. She fluffed the couch pillows 4 times. She straightened the painting over the fireplace twice. She dusted the vase Obachan brought the last time she visited. Sophie and I went to the bedroom where Obachan always stayed. Sophie left a note on the nightstand. On the pillow, I put a collage of birds that I had made. Obachan loves birds. Right in the center of the collage was my very favorite bird in the whole world, a flamingo. Someday I hoped I could have a pet flamingo. Mom shooed us out of the room and then out of the house. She never let us go with her and Dad to the airport. She said we were out of control. Sophie went to her best friend's house. I stayed at Mrs. Reese's. Mrs. Reese put a big plate of brownies in front of me. Your favorite, she said. No nuts. I took only one. Mom said I always had to use my manners, especially when I was a guest. Mrs. Reese baked the best brownies, so it was not hard to gobble them all up. She never ate any brownies, not that I ever saw. Maybe she made them special just for me. How go the preparations? She asked. Okay, I said after I swallowed a big chocolatey bite. My grandma comes today. We call her Obachan. I sounded it out for Mrs. Reese. Obachan. She and Mom will probably clean the house more. I didn't understand why they spent so much time cleaning when everything would just get dirty again. You must be happy to see your grandma, Mrs. Reese said. I know I'm excited about seeing my grandson when I visit my daughter tomorrow. Mrs. Reese's daughter lives in Los Angeles. That's why she moved here from Vermont. I wondered if someday Obachan might move here. That would be great. Where's your grandma coming from? Mrs. Reese asked. Hiroshima. It's a city in Japan. She comes every year and stays for a whole month. You said your other relatives visit too. When do they get here? Mrs. Reese asked. Mean cousin Eddie would come tomorrow. He and his parents live in San Francisco, and it takes them 8 hours to drive here. They would stay overnight at our house. I didn't want to think about mean cousin Eddie. The rest of the family, with my nice cousins, lives near us in Los Angeles. That's what I was looking forward to. Tomorrow and the day after, I answered. In 2 days, everyone except for me and my 4-year-old cousin would make mochi. I had to get my arms ready. Do you have any wood that needs chopping? I asked. Mrs. Reese crinkled her forehead. It was the same look Mom made when I asked something she thought was strange. Or maybe hammering? Do you have anything that needs to be hammered? I glanced around the kitchen. The cabinets looked fine. Too bad. The shed needs painting, Mrs. Reese said slowly, like she was thinking of not telling me. I jumped up, brownie crumbs flying. I'll do it! Well, it's a job that will take some time, and I know your parents will be home soon with your grandma. I sank back into the kitchen chair. I felt like a balloon with a hole in it. My, Mrs. Reese said with a smile. You sure want to help out. I'll tell you what. You can help me paint the shed after the holidays. On a weekend. Oh, I didn't want to help after Mochisuki. It would be no use to work out my arms afterward. Besides, painting sounded boring. Fortunately, before I had to answer, my parents' car pulled into the driveway. Thank you for the brownies. I'll see you later, I said, dashing out the door to greet Obachan. When I got back to the house, Sophie wasn't home yet. For once, I had Obachan to myself. I flung myself at her as she stepped out of the car. She smelled like a pine forest. She laughed and patted my cheek. I leaned back to look at Oba-chan. Her short silver hair was like a fluffy cloud around her head. I'm going to show you a picture of Oba-chan. So sweet. She smiled at me, her brown eyes crinkling, and my insides felt warm and sweet, like Mrs. Reese's brownies. Dad carried Oba-chan's luggage into the house. She had a lot of stuff. I hoped something in there was a gift for me, but I knew better than to ask. I followed Oba-chan to the guest room. Very nice, she said when she saw my collage on her pillow. She unpacked her clothes one by one. Black pants, gray pants, a dark blue dress, a white blouse, a gray sweater. Some clothes she hung in the closet. Others she folded and put in the dresser. She brought out a pretty blue and gray kimono that she would wear on New Year's Day. It was my favorite outfit of hers. I sat on a chair and tried to be patient. After unpacking a million clothes, she turned to me with a package wrapped in red and white cloth. My heart did a happy dance. For you, Misa-chan, Oba-chan said, calling me by my Japanese middle name. I made a proper bow and thanked her. Arigato, Oba-chan. I almost snatched the gift out of her hands, but I remembered my manners and took it slowly. I untied the gold string and the cloth fell away from the box. I lifted the lid. Under gold tissue paper was a white apron decorated with pink cherry blossoms. I pulled it from the box and held it up. It was so pretty. It looked like Mom's special mochi apron, except hers was red with white cherry blossoms. I ran over to the mirror on the closet and draped the apron over my head. It hung to my knees and gaped at my neck. It was a little big, but I didn't care. I had a special mochi apron. I can only imagine what a special gift that was for her. So here's her just beaming in the mirror with her new mochi apron. And then, let's see, this side we just have a picture of a little flamingo. That one is her favorite one, she said. And just a little side note, when I listened to Debbie Michiko Florence speak, she told me that she herself is obsessed with flamingos. And so in every book, she tries to incorporate a flamingo somewhere. So just an interesting fact. Wow-wee, zow-wee! I love it, Oba-chan. My smile was so big that my cheeks hurt. Save it for when you help with mochisuki, she said. My smile slumped into a frown. More waiting. I was tired of waiting. I'm going to help this year, I announced. Oba-chan's eyes clouded over. You're too young. Last year, I wanted to decorate the house for Mom's birthday, but I thought I was too little. Oba-chan told me I was big enough. We worked together and didn't tell anyone else. We were a team. Oba-chan was always on my side. But I'm ready to help, I said. I'm going to pound mochi. Oba-chan gasped. You young lady! That job is for men. I shook my head. It doesn't matter, I said, trying to use a respectful tone like Mom taught me. I am just as tough as the boys. Girls no pound mochi. It's kisoku, the rule. That was a silly rule from when Oba-chan was little, probably. Walnuts. Everything had rules. It wasn't fair. I shouldn't have told Oba-chan. I didn't want to wait 2 more years. I didn't want to roll mochi. I wanted to pound mochi. I ran out of the room, leaving the apron behind. All right, you guys, this book is getting so good. I can't wait to hear what you're thinking about it, what connections that you are making. I have a lot of thoughts about this book, and I connect to it a lot for many different reasons, because of the Japanese culture, because of their traditions of mochi, because of Jasmine kind of wanting to go against the grain and kind of advocating for herself and always wanting to like insert herself in things. I feel like I can kind of identify with that being the youngest sibling. And I don't like it when people tell me I can't do something, especially because I'm a girl or whatever else. And so I can identify with her, because if someone told me not to do it just because I was a girl, probably make me want to do it more. So I'm excited to hear what you guys think, and I'll see you guys soon.